Hi, Craig Moody here with Mammoth Restoration, and I was videoing this today to talk about something that's kind of scaring me lately, and I'm sure it's on a lot of your minds too, but living up here in northern Arizona in the largest continuous ponderosa pine forest in the world, fire season is really scaring me right now. I've lived here for several years. I think we've been dodging bullets for years. We've been very lucky with all the thinning going on. But after seeing what happened to California last year, I thought I'd make this video and kind of start maybe preparing some of us for possible fire evacuations, preparation for your home, especially coming from the insurance industry, not so much the firewizing and firewizing your property, which if you want, go to firewise.org for some information. I notice that's really good for the contractors that work on fires and firewizing homes. An even better one I thought for just homeowners in general is NFPA or National Fire Protection Agency.org. NFPA, National Fire Protection Agency.org, and they have tips for the primary threats to homes during a wildfire. So really, truly, with the gutters and the cleaning and a lot of the basic stuff. The other things you want to think about is pets. Like maybe get a plan together. What would you do if you have horses? Do you have barn animals? Do you have pets, dogs, cats, elderly in the home nearby? From an insurance standpoint that I deal with every year, you're going to want to know what do you have if your house were to burn. Not saying that would happen, but if it did, really, in all honesty, what I run into is people are like, I can't remember what the heck we had. So we always recommend videotaping your content once in a while. Just walk through your house with a videotape. Slowly go into each room, slowly turn around and look at all your stuff. You'd be amazed what's in closets, what's in storage sheds, what's in your garage. The average household owners have anywhere between $30,000 and $60,000 in just clothing alone. So, that's just a few things to think about. And I think that we need to really seriously be ready on the outskirts of town here. Munns Park, Kachina Village, Forest Highlands, places down Lake Mary Road, up 180, anywhere in there, you'd be amazed you could get evacuated. We learned a lot in 2011 from the Wallow Fire, also called the Bear Wallow Fire, which burned over 500,000 acres in Arizona and part of New Mexico. And the fire was May 11th, I believe, of 2011, and the evacuation was finally lifted on June 12th. So that was almost a month from the time the fire went through so people could get back into their homes. So people didn't really know what they were walking back into. We learned a lot during that time. Most homes were okay. Didn't actually need any remediation whatsoever, simply because they did two things. They had all their windows shut, there was no air coming in, and they had the HVAC turned off, so there was no air recirculating in. That was the main part. We had stories from firefighters. We actually had burnt steps on the back of a home where the firefighters completely surrounded all the homes in this one neighborhood, fought the fire as it came through, spread it out around the homes, but there was heavy smoke coming to the homes. And the thing about forest fires is that's a natural burning product. Okay, if you ever went up to, say you went camping and you went up to the fire pit and you stepped in it and you saw ashes fly everywhere, right? Well, that's what ponderosas do, and oaks and junipers. They burn clean, okay? The restoration industry exists because we're cleaning man-made products lots of times. When a house burns, you have paint, you have drywall, you have insulation, you have man-made products, fiberboards, foods, different cans, metals, everything like that. That creates a soot and that creates an odor that is very hard to remove. That's what we do. Forest fires really are not that hard to remove. Ashes flow, they come in, they also leave too. So it's not like you're cleaning that. One thing you can do is, if you are to be evacuated, is do the Kleenex test. I mean, just go around and start wiping walls, start wiping the top of trim or possibly shelving, things like that. and look at it. Is it dirt or is it black? Okay, that'll tell you whether you're going to need our services or not. Open the house up, air it out. So that's a lot of what we found out on these fires. It was really common sense. Make sure the house is shut up. Make sure the HVAC is off. Make sure that you can leave that home for a long time, meaning you maybe have a bag packed, maybe you have, all your valuables already in a safe, important papers, computers ready to rock and roll and get out of there. Let's see. Yeah, and like I said about insurance, they just want to know, what do you have? Do you know what you have? Do you know what your policy limits are on that? So you basically have to look at your policies, see where you're at. If you need to increase your policy limit, I know that there's you can't just increase it one day. Some insurance companies have it. It'll be effective in 30 days. It'll be effective in 60 days. So call your insurance agents and make sure you're properly insured. The other part of this that I want to talk about that we learned was after the fire. After you come back, expect some possible, I don't know what to call them, but if somebody knocks on your door, you talk to them, go into your house to look at your home, and tells you have damage, just be leery of that. There's a lot of contractors out there that need work. There's a lot of adjusters and public adjusters and people like that in the industry that will work with them. So you just have to be leery of what you're walking into. Usually most people know they had damage. Any of the jobs that we took over there, signed, and actually went to work, they had their windows open, basically, is what it came down to. Or they were just right on the edge of a very heavily treed forest that saw a lot of damage. Or their home was actually damaged themselves. It had partial burning. So if you don't have that, you're usually going to be pretty good. Changing filters and things like that after the fire is important as well. But I would give it a few days. This is not something that has to happen immediately. Don't call insurance until you go into your home. Go into your home, inspect it, do the wipe tests, do the smell tests, get other people involved, open it up, air it out, get air moving, fans going, changing filters. Give it some time to air out and clean out and see if you truly do need a restoration company in there. This is something, it comes down to a lot of common sense. And then also just there's people that try to, predator type restoration companies that will come around and tell you that you have damage when you really don't. So, and I've seen it firsthand. Look for this on mammothrestorationaz.com, also any of our social media. Follow us on Facebook. You can follow us also on Instagram, mamrestaz.com, Facebook. Again, my name's Craig Moody. If you have any questions, give us a call. Mammoth Restoration always open for educating you, and we can also do a site visit. Thank you. Good luck.